Hey guys, today I am going to do a design with some of my scraps. I have a bunch of scraps, so we're always trying to figure out how we can use these scraps and not waste them. So the design I'm going to do today, it's just going to be like a simple heart, but it's going to be with all my glitter scraps. Now I took all the pieces, different colors, all the different colors. I have my high temperature mask I'm going to use, and I have my mat that I'm going to use. With the design I'm doing, I had to use my cutter. I have a bigger one, so you're going to need like a cutter, because you're going to need these edges to be straight so you can put them close together. And I'm going to show you why we need to use this on top of the mat, because once you put the design, if you just lay it flat on here, when you cut it, it's going to be hard to pull it off once you make the whole design. So, and I'll show you as we do it. So I'm going to start with the transfer tape here, and I'm going to tape this down so it don't move while I am doing this, because of course, you know, this is sticky. This is high temperature transfer tape, which I do have on my website. So I'll move this over to the edge, so I'll give myself a little more room here to put my things down. Okay. So of course, you know, when you're cutting your glitter, it's upside down. I just want to make sure I'm lining this up the right way. So let's go here. Move a little closer. Make sure I have all the right colors. So you don't really want to have a gap, not too much of a gap. So you don't want them to be laying on top of each other, but you want them to be extremely close so you don't see anything in the background. So I'm just going to put all of these together. You definitely don't want them laying on top of each other. So they can't be layering. They have to be side by side. And there we go. And that's why you need the cutter, because the cutter is going to give you the straight edge, and it's going to make it a lot easier for you to put them close together without it being on top of each other. So, you know, you just got to figure out which way to put it on. And put as many colors or whatever design. That is my heat press. Here. Okay. And you can do it, of course, with as many colors and you know, styles you want to do. Okay, because I'm just going to make a heart for a baby shirt, but that's how I did this. Again, this is high transfer tape. I use my tape for the sides just to hold it down so it's not moving. And then I'm going to take my mat up this way. And my image, I think, is like, it's like a 5x5, so, or a 5x4, something like that. So I'm just going to lay this with this piece lining up with the mat here at the end. So when I put it in, lay it here. Okay, so I am going to cut this, and I'll come right back once I cut it. All right, guys, I am back. I cut out the glitter with my silhouette, and I also just did another one because I'm going to layer it, just because there's little tiny gaps, because I really didn't make them evenly. Of course, when you're cutting yours, you can make them the same size, or, you know, whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and weed this, and of course you're going to have some lighting, because you have to see where the heart is. So you're not taking the whole backing off, you're really just taking off like you're weeding, you know, regularly doing your weeding, but we needed to stay on our high traffic transfer tape in order to lift it off of here. So You really need the light to make sure you're not pulling the whole thing, even the backing, off. All right. I have to see the lines here. And again, you know, you can just, you know, cut any shape, style. Definitely make sure you use the high transfer temperature tape, because I'll show you in a second, because if you only laid it on the actual mat, how are you going to get the whole design off, because it's in a bunch of pieces. So of course I don't need these two pieces. I'm going to cut them off when I take this off. That'll be easier. And actually, you could have just lifted this up and then cut it and not have to take all the long route, but I am doing it this way. Okay, here's my heart. Here's the heart. So now this is the reason why we need a transfer tape. So we can just pull this off, put this aside, and I'm just going to cut off this piece to use it for something else. I don't need that. And here's your heart. We're just going to press it just like this. Oops, where are we here? We're going to press it. Let me turn this off just like this. And I made a back because I just want to have a backing on it, so you know you won't even really be able to see the gaps. So I'm going to do that. So now let me tell you, they tell you cannot layer glitter. I know, I've been doing this a very, very long time, and I layer glitter as long as it's done with a heat press. I have had shirts that I've washed several times for years and never lift it. So I will layer my glitter as long as, to me, as long as you're using a heat press and pressing it the way it should be pressed. I never had a problem. So okay, so I'm going to move over here to my heat press. I'm going to press this on a little baby shirt, and then we'll see what the outcome is. All right, guys, I'm going to press my first, my background, because I'm going to layer it with the one we just made with all our scraps. So, of course, you all know that I fold my images in half. I usually fold the shirt in half, but today I'm just going to eye it because I have a little cute bow up here. And I'm just going to guess, because this is actually not for anyone. So, it doesn't matter. Okay. All right, I'm gonna do it. I have it on 7 seconds. Excuse me. I usually have it on 5 because, you know, by the time you move it down, you already lost 2 seconds of it. So, only because I'm layering it. That's why I'm not doing it more seconds. And then I'm gonna layer this on top of it. This is what we did with our scraps. So, and I'm going to layer it directly on top of it. You could also make it a lot bigger so it can show on the outside to give it that shadow look. But I'm going to go ahead and press this. And then I am going to remove this. Oh, look how pretty. Look how pretty this is. And then I'm going to give it another press. This is what I mean when I layer it. You want to make sure you give it some really good heat presses, because when you do that, it lasts. I have shirts that lasted for years. I'm going to turn it over, press it another 5 seconds, and then we're going to be done with this. And that is it. Look how pretty this is, guys. Oh my goodness. Look how pretty this is. This shirt is super cute. So this is what I did with my scraps, and of course you can do it with any colors, any colors, any shapes, and you know, of course you can balance out, you know, cut them evenly if you choose to. I just kind of cut them any kind of way, you can use any vinyl. You can do this with any vinyl. So I hope this helped. Let me know if you have any questions, comments below, and I hope you have an amazing day.